CO, Halito, what up, cuz? Peace to everybody in the chat, those that will be coming in later, those that are here now, peace to you. We're doing a pop up podcast today. We live.
Welcome to this week episode of Southeastern TalkingStick. What's going on, cousin Christine?
Oh, nothing much.
You hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. So we
I
were
can't
talking.
hear you.
We can. They can hear me. We have some technical difficulties.
You think they're doing that on purpose?
Yep,
Because
yep, yep.
you
Look at
think they're
your phone.
doing that on purpose?
Yep. We having some technical difficulties, but we're gonna get through this. Peace to everybody. We having a little technical difficulties. I know that y'all can hear us. He can't hear me, but I did a mic check.
I mean,
Oh,
well, dealing with that, you know, they saw that as certain spirit forces. It's not like the concept as in Christianity. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, um, what what may be considered evil to you might not be evil to them. next, you know.
Right. Yeah. So basically,
You heard me?
yes. So I'm just gonna read this excerpt because we are talking about
You can hear
the
me? You heard me?
yes, yes. So basically, I'm gonna read this excerpt about southeastern tribes on how they view the devil.
You heard me, cuz? You
Mm.
heard me, cuz?
Yes. Yeah, we've been having some technical difficulties. He can't hear me, but I can hear him. But y'all can hear both of us. So StreamYard, I don't know what they doing. So basically, traditionally southeastern tribes such as the Jalagi, Anikitawagi, the Chata, the Creek, the Muskogee, and the Chickasaw did not have a concept of the devil or a singular all evil arch fiend equivalent to Christian theology. Instead, their cosmologies featured balanced dualities of nature. All right, balanced dualities of nature, so good and bad or neutral. With various localized spirits, tricksters, monstrous beings representing specific dangers and negative traits or chaos. So it's balance or chaos. Okay. So you have the traditional views
Right.
of evil and spirits. No single personification of evil, rather than viewing evil as an independent, overarching cosmic entity fighting a supreme God, good God. Traditional Southeastern theology saw the world in a dynamic balance, good and bad forces, much like human nature, were integrated into the natural
Right.
order. So the Kituwa, the Jalagi, the Cherokee, there is no single devil figure. Instead, bad or disruptive spirits, as Gina, or specific entities like the Uya, an earth spirit working against rightness or righteousness, a soul praying figure like Kelowna, Ayiliski, exist as manifestations or cautions regarding harm and death. The Chata, while some historical accounts and contemporary oral histories adapted English terms to discuss a great spirit and a devil. Traditional equivalents include shadow beings like the Nalusa Chatu, the big black thing, or soul eater, which was said to creep into human minds when people allowed destructive thoughts or deep despair to take root. All right. And then they have this cultural shift and syncretism. Syncretism is kind of like how many different religions have a lot of things in common, they have some similarities, right? So this is a missionary translation. When Christian missionaries arrived in the Southeast, they frequently mapped European theological frameworks onto the indigenous spiritual vocabularies. So they forced Christian missionaries forced their idea, their religions on indigenous peoples. Indigenous peoples already had their spiritual systems intact. All right. They did insert Christianity like terms into vocabularies, sometimes translating native terms for powerful or chaotic spirits into the devil or demons. Modern beliefs today, many citizens of southeastern tribes, some of them are Christians. They have incorporated Christianity. Now, I've went to a couple of Cherokee meetings where we had speakers and they were talking about this one speaker. She was just reminding us, let's keep Christianity out of our spiritual system and just focus on the Cherokee or the Salagi Kitawa system. All right. So basically, the views of Satan and the devil and other practices, traditional ceremonies, and many blend both worldviews into a personal understanding of spiritual balance. So some of indigenous citizens incorporate them, mix them together in a pot of gumbo. And then some are more indigenous traditionalists, where they lean on the traditional indigenous spirituality. So you have the conflicting things, but our indigenous tribes, a lot of our indigenous tribes just didn't have God and the devil. It's balance or chaos, and a duality of a person or a thing or nature. So, do anybody have any comments or questions? You got any more comments or questions? Cause anybody in the chat got any comments or questions?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Because
Yes.
can you hear me?
Okay, so we're gonna look at the myths of the Cherokee with James Mooney. I have this book, but we're gonna pull it up. Let me get my glasses. My readers.
You gotta go to work tonight, tomorrow.
So this is a book that you can refer to that's talking about the myths of the Cherokee. And we can pull up some other tribes too. But we were talking about the concept of the indigenous concept of good and evil, or good and bad, or balance versus chaos. It's not like the traditional Christianity where there's a big bad devil, Satan. but there are energies that are an adversary to you. So balance versus chaos. So this is a good book that just talks about the myths of the Cherokee, and it delves into um, the spiritual system, the myths, etc. So you can view this book in your spare time, but I will pick an excerpt because we having some kind of technical difficulties. Every once in a while, Pa can hear me, but I can hear him, and I know y'all can hear both of us. So, anybody in the chat, y'all got any comments or questions? I'm gonna just pull up one chapter, and we can go over that. So you have cosmology, cosmology myths, how the world was made, the first fire, Kunatl and Selu, the origin of corn and game, the origin of disease and medicine, the daughter of the sun, the origin of death, how they brought back tobacco. We've went over the tobacco one before and the story of Selu. I believe on this channel we went over it. The journey to the sunrise, the moon and the thunders. We might look at that and what the stars are like, the origin of the Pleiades in the pine, the Milky Way, the great yellow jacket, the origin of fish and frogs, the flood, the deluge. So we can go over one of these. Let's look at, since we're talking about, there's no like one concept of the devil. So we can look at the moon and the thunders. 256. But there's a myth or spiritual knowledge about each of these, about birds, snakes, wonder stories, historical traditions, the spirit defenders of Nick Whisk. So they have a lot of things that you can tap into in this book. I'm just looking at this before I go to the moon and the thunders. All right, let's go. It's said page 256. Okay, so there are myths about how the world was made. So yeah, y'all can look into that. Excuse me. I sent you a message, and we're gonna have to get a new streaming platform because StreamYard has been cutting up with our sound for the last couple of podcasts.
You heard me?
No, what you say? All right, so this is just talking about the moon and the thunders. And they put this in an allegorical form, just like the literature in the Bible, the pseudepigrapha of the Bible. It's a lot of allegorical stories, so you can learn some lessons from the characters. You get the message. What you got to say, cuz?
You know, everybody got a most everybody got a story.
Say that again.
I say we didn't have the concept of the Abraham faith dealing with deities. You heard me?
Yes.
Yeah, for some reason, Instagram
Thank y'all for your patience with
Yeah.
my.
So they're really doing the number on there, which is crazy. But anyway, the myths on, is like having the white wolf and the black wolf, you know what I'm saying? And things like that, right? And it's dealing with nature. And each of that had a story within itself, I can't see nothing. You hear me, cuz?
Yep, I can hear you.
So, so yeah, that's it for me. So yeah, that's it for me, cuz.
All right. Well, this is a short and sweet podcast tonight. We did a pop up. We're gonna do some more pop ups in the future, and we will get back on our podcast consistently. Really in the fall. That's when the fall and the winter and the beginning of spring. That's when we'll have them back to back. But late spring and summer,
You heard me,
that's
cuz? That's it for me.
yeah, that's when we are busy and we have stuff to do. So we'll have pop up podcasts. So y'all can check out this book or just look up whatever tribal nation you're from. Look at the myths of your tribal nation, and it will tell you about the good versus the bad, the concept of good and evil, or balance versus chaos. So we'll see y'all on our next pop up podcast. Let me share this and then we can close out. Let me show this and then we can close out because they've been fucking with the volume of the podcast, and I'm gonna have to find a different streaming platform, one that is reliable. So with the book that I shared, this is the copyright disclaimer. All right. We appreciate y'all patience with these technical difficulties. I'm finding us a different streaming platform or talk to their support to see, because I've did everything on my end to see how to fix this. Can you hear me, cuz?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm gonna see what we can do with StreamYard and go from there. So we'll see
Yeah, I
y'all.
can hear you now.
Okay. So I was just telling them we're gonna do different pop-up podcasts, but really um in the fall, in the winter, and the early part of spring, that's when we'll have consistent back-to-back podcasts. But late spring and summer, we do pop-ups because I got a life and Pa got a life. So we appreciate y'all patience and rocking with us. But I will be looking into other streaming platforms um, to see what's going on. So if y'all want to support us, like, share, subscribe. Y'all can look at some of our previous podcast installments on different subjects during our Sunday panel discussion or when we had special guests. Y'all can check out our playlists. And if y'all want to support us and get merch, we appreciate that too. It's always in the description. All right. So, peace. Hello.